Mhm. Hello, hello, almost Shabbat Shalom. Almost. There are a couple of more hours, a few more hours before the Shabbat comes in. And to put my eyes to check who's here. Okay. Almost. Quite interesting. Interesting week, interesting weekend, interesting my location. I am in Vegas. You know, things happen. So I'm here doing work. I'm here on on business, and it's interesting. I'm in a hotel. A hotel room that doesn't really have anything. Doesn't have basic amenities like or what turned to be an accepted amenities in our time. No coffee machines, no refrigerator. So I have to be creative in how to keep things cool, for example. So I have an AC. Let's see. And on the AC, there are a few things that are running. As the AC gets colder, the items get cooler. So there are some. You have to improvise. You know? Improvising is important, right? It's important in our life. We gotta improvise because if we don't improvise, things change on us. Oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Right? We're everything in life. Everything. Nothing is static. Nothing is static. And those for you, nothing is static or benel. Nothing. So nothing is permanent. Everything is fluid. Everything is moving. And we discover that things that were important for us yesterday are not important for us today. Or things that we thought were not important for us back then or the other day are important today. And so there is shift in perception, there is shift in priorities. But at the bottom line, and this is something that have been more dominant or present in the past few weeks, is back to basics. Is back really to the essence. I was talking about, I think it was last week or the week before, where we misplace our sense of. Sometimes we go into places where we misplace a sense of purpose. We didn't lose the mojo. We didn't lose. Sometimes you might find out that you get up in the morning, or during the day, and you find, what am I doing? What? And saying, oh, I lost this. I didn't like I used to have it, and I used to have this kind of energy, and I used to be able to do this and this and to move here things. But it's really just a misplace of things. Like now, I misplaced my bottle of water. So I'm going to. Oh no, I didn't misplace. Yeah, I did. I misplaced it in my head. And if I misplaced it in my head, the bottle of water could be in front of me, and I will not find it. So there you go. So it's interesting. It's interesting, and so we misplace things, and we come to a point where we say, okay, let's stop. Let's take a deep breath. Let's reconnect to basics. Let's reconnect to basics. And when does that come usually? Usually that comes when we're facing some kind of challenges or some kind of difficulties or what we perceive to be difficulty. We perceive to be a difficulty. And it's only a trigger. It's only a reminder of connection. So challenges and technical difficulties. That's what it is. It is technical difficulties. Technical difficulties, challenges. These are all difficult times. Why is it difficult time? Because it is an improvisation sometimes. Sometimes we have to improvise. And it's difficult. And it's like, what am I going to do now? How do I do this? How do I do that? No, I can't handle this. I don't know what would I do if this suddenly will happen. Yeah. Challenges, fluidity is really improvisation. And I'll tell you about a little bit about what happened yesterday when I got here to Vegas. I got to Vegas, and things were not happening as for whatever reason, I perceived that they're supposed to happen, or how they're going to happen, and I just chose to be antsy, antsy with myself. And then I was tired. I was just like so many things that were happening. But those things, those challenges are there for a reason. They're there for a couple of reasons. The first reason is to help us remember, to connect. Many times, the reason that we are having these challenges, what happens when we have challenges, and what happens when we are pressed to the wall and we are against the wall, we start paying more attention to our words, more attention to what we utter, more attention to prayer, more attention to meditation, more attention to affirmation. We're suddenly paying more attention to these things. We're saying, "Oh, wait, hold on. What did I miss? I missed something." Okay, so some people will do more prayer, some people will do more meditation. Pay attention to words. Start meditating on affirmation sentences, abracadabra, right? Creating what we speak, connecting to these places. And this is really all this is under one umbrella of connecting to God, connecting to our soul, to connecting to creation, being more in concert, more in harmony with creation. Doesn't matter where we are. It doesn't matter. We could be here in Vegas, or we can be in La La Land, or we can be in Israel, or we can be in anywhere, right? Usually when we are in our physical enjoyment and physical blurry, where we're fun, we're having fun, things are working, things are flowing, things are continuously going on, we really, unless we're putting ourselves together and we keep reminding ourselves all the time, it's very easy to drift. Why? Because we are in this physicality, we're in this world, we're in this realm. We need to make an effort to continuously remember, continuously be gratitude, continuously be in this space of remembrance. And when we remember, we are connected. So many times these things of challenges that you may experience, energetic flow, it can come in dreams, it can come in spiritual downloads, it can come in different ways, in connections with people that suddenly reappear in your life. Why suddenly this person reappears in my life? Especially those who you had a discord with, suddenly they reappear in your life. So those are remembering for us to connect. So these quote unquote challenges are reminding us to connect, because during these times, many times we find ourselves that we are looking for comfort. We're looking for comfort, and we're looking for comfort in the form of prayer or in the form of meditation. The other thing is like when we're going to the gym. The other thing is that these challenges, that means we hit a T, like maybe we hit a brick wall, or we hit a certain point that requires us to shift, that requires us to do something different than what we've been doing until this moment. Improvise. I was expecting to come here yesterday. I was expecting to get this kind of a room. I was expecting to get this kind of a place. I was expecting to get this kind of yeah. And so I could have stayed in that place of but improvising, shifting my perception. Improvising is shifting our perception, is shifting the way we're looking at something. Because We cannot change what is happening there. I cannot go complain. Well, I can complain. I mean, yeah, I can complain, but what's that going to help? You know. So it is me that will shift my place. And when I shift my place, then suddenly this, hey, it's okay. So I'm in Vegas, and I have a room that is really, you know, well, it's okay. I'm not in the room anyway, you know. Shabbat Shalom, Yafa. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. So I'm in this room, but it is my perception that is going to shift the existence and the experience of of this stay. Now, of course, I can say, listen, I was tired. I had a long drive. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're human. We are like a pendulum. We have to remember this thing. And here is something that somebody somebody was very upset with me in the past when she thought that we always have to find this place of wonderfulness and stay there and be there all the time. But you really can't. You really can't. Think about a food that you love, a dish that you love very much, very much. Now, you haven't eaten this dish in like, I don't know, 5 years. And now you're eating this dish. Oh, you love it so much. Let's have this dish tomorrow again. Okay, great. Let's have this dish tomorrow the next day. Okay, great. Let's have this dish on the 4th day. All right, if there's nothing else, okay. By the end of the 6th day or 5th day, you're sick and tired of that dish. You can't handle this dish anymore. Or 7 because that's the only thing you're eating. Because it is saturated. It's oversaturating. It's taking something and creating this addiction to something that is overbearing on the actual need and desire for it. Right? But when we have it in moderation, just like with every other thing, with the diets, with everything, it's the moderation. It's the same thing. When we cannot be always in one place. We are like a pendulum. Our life, our existence is pendulumiac, right? We're here, so we can desire to be here. And now we're creating the shift and the move to here. And now when we're here, we're creating the shift and move to here. Yes, overall, we can choose how to feel. And we choose how to feel. I want to be in a good place. Everything that happens for the good. And sometimes we don't see that. Sometimes we forget about that. And sometimes we need these challenges to remind us, dude, everything is for the good. And sometimes we pass that stage of the dudeness, It's like, all right, but this is to remind us, everything is for the good. So in general, yes, I feel great. You feel great. You feel good. Sometimes we forget and we remember. We forget and we remember. We bring all our members back. We remember ourselves. Right? We bring ourselves back. Okay. Overall, we feel good. There are those shifts that we go through. We can't be static in one place. Because if you're static, you're missing out on life. Because I see life as an improvisation. Life is not static. Life is improvisation. Living life is improvising. And the more you improvise, the better you get. The more you come into a situation, we say, okay, I'm in a situation, I can cry and whine about this, or I can see how I can make that situation better. You go into a restaurant, you look at the menu. You love this particular dish, but you don't like the ingredients, all the ingredients in them. So what are you going to do? 2 options. You're either going to pick another dish. Hopefully you like that other dish that they have. What I like to do is look at the dish. So I like those ingredients, but I don't like these 2 ingredients. So I will ask the waiter or waitress, I would like to switch these 2 ingredients and make it like, so I make my own dish, but hey, I'm paying for it. So I can make my own dish. Go to a restaurant, make your own dish. So what if the menu says this? So menu says this, that gives you a template. There's a template. Now you can make your own dish. If it's available, good. If it's not available, that's fine. But If you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. So ask, try it, give it a shot. So this portion of the Torah, Parashat Emor, at the end of the portion, is talking about the bread. He's talking about making the bread and the bread that they would give to in the Mishkan, right? And it is and there it is talking about also the man, the foods that the Israelites would get, and so the bread was making would stay fresh for the entire week, or the entire Shabbat. So like usually a bread, if you leave it outside, if you leave the bread outside, usually what happens to it? It gets stale, it gets dried up, and it gets stale. But this bread didn't. Just like the man, just like the man that we would eat in the desert. God would create the man would fall, but it would on Friday, it would fall twice. It would fall for Friday and Saturday, so they don't have to do anything on Shabbat. So they don't have to do anything on Shabbat. So this concept, this place of remembering that God, everything that happens has a reason to it. Everything that happens for the good. So you say, well, why is God not giving me everything at once? Why does he have to make every day, the man has to come down every day? I have to prepare the bread every day. I have to come. Why doesn't he give me everything at once? Why? I mean, he can do that. He can give me one time a year, the food. Hasta la vista. Thank you very much. I will come see you next year. It is equivalent to a story of this king that gives his son once a year an allotment, right? Son lives in a castle on the other side of the country. The king is giving him once a year this allotment, this money, and the son comes to see him once a year. So how often the son comes to see? How often the father sees his son? Usually when the son needs the check, needs the money. So the father says, you know what? I'm going to give you this every day. Every day I'm not going to give you one day. I'm going to give you every day. Why? Because the father loves his son and he wants to see him. Hint, hint, if you're listening to me. The father wants to see his son and his kids. So he's giving them every day something so they come and see him. But this is the obstacles that I was talking earlier. Many times the obstacles that we're having is to remember our greatness, our entity is godly, to remember God, to remember the connection that we have with God, the connection that we have with ourselves, the contracts that we have with ourselves, to remember where did I place that sense of purpose. Oh, there is the bottle. I found it. Bottle of fresh water. I'm turning it around so it's not commercial for the company. But anyway, the bottle of fresh water. By the way, I'm not the half glass full or the half glass empty kind of guy. I'm the person that the glass is always full. Half of it we see and half of it we still don't see. It's always full. It's not empty. So, but sometimes we need to remember. We need to remember where we're coming from, and we need to remember our connection to ourselves. And this is why the obstacles are here many times. To bring us to this place, and this will recap what I said in the beginning, to bring us to this place of connecting, because when we are in the corner, when we're in the tight corner, we tend to pray more, we tend to meditate. This is like in the portion of the Torah, as God wants us to remember, and that many times those challenges that we have is to bring us closer to ourselves, to one another, because one another, this is where our power is. And brothers, chaverim, achim, mishpacha, in Israel, in the world, our power is in our unity. And that's when we remember. When we remember that, everything else will dissolve. Everything else will go away. Nothing will be as important. Stuff that you thought yesterday was good for you is not good for you today. Stuff that you thought yesterday was good for you is not good for you today. Stuff you didn't think was good for you yesterday, today is important. So these challenges are good. Challenges are connecting. We connect through challenges to ourselves and to each other. That doesn't mean that you should go get in trouble, but when things happen, we improvise. So the improvisation is going to feed how we're going to get better and smooth with challenges, how we're going to interpret challenges. It's our perception. So thank you very much for being here. Connect, subscribe to my YouTube channel, to my Facebook, to my this and my that, and all this is here and in my profile. Shabbat Shalom, and have fun and improvise. When you see something off the charts, that's an opportunity. Improvise. Shabbat Shalom.